Celeb Savant is a career retrospective type interview focusing on singers, actors, and industry experts. Join Barrett Edelstein now as he dives into the entertainment world.
Polish singer and songwriter Luna's breakout moment came with her debut EP, Caught in the Night, which landed on 14 international Spotify New Music Friday playlists worldwide. This early success was further solidified when Luna received a nomination for the prestigious Bestseller of Empik Award in 2021, highlighting her growing influence within the Polish music industry. It was the release of her debut full-length album Nocne Zmory in April of 2022 that truly cemented her status as a major force in Poland's alternative music scene. With a string of chart-topping hits and over 20 million streams to her name, Luna has become one of Poland's most influential voices. Her performance at Eurovision 2024 solidified her place in the European music scene. Her growing stardom was showcased with her image lighting up New York's Times Square billboard and ranked 6 on Forbes' women's list of the most valuable women personal brands in Polish music. A multi-talented artist who plays both the violin and piano, she crafts her own music, writes her own lyrics, and expresses her creativity through philosophy, art, and fashion. In 2025, Luna released her breakout sophomore album No Rest. Also in 2025, Luna embarks on a huge tour supporting Eurovision winner Loreen, and a short while later in the year, the rising star joins the legendary Sugar Babes on their UK and Ireland arena tour. The dynamic artist is not only taking Poland by storm, she's now becoming a prominent figure in the US and beyond. Up next on Celeb Savant, we've got Luna.
Where in the world are you, and how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm currently at the hotel. I'm on tour with the Sugar Babes.
Oh, wow.
And it's super, super exciting. And I'm very happy today. Actually, I'm in Newcastle. It's my first time in Newcastle, and it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful city.
Fascinating journey. So let's rewind. At what age, whether as a child or teenager, did you think, okay, I want to be creating music, I want to be in this world, and how did that journey progress?
I think I kind of always felt it in some kind of way. It was very, very natural to me. I started speaking and singing very, very early, way earlier before I started walking and moving my body. So it was very, very natural for me because I always I have synesthesia, so I've always heard a lot of sounds, and everything had a sound for me.
Yes.
So also music was a way, it was my language. It was always my language, how I could communicate with the world and with myself. So it was very natural. I started creating music, I think maybe when I was a teenager, but at first it was not super professional. I just did it for myself as a way of communication, and artistic, maybe a little bit of an artistic escape from the world. But then I followed this journey and till this place, this moment of my life.
You were writing music as a teenager. What were the next steps? Yes, you thought, okay, I'm going to do this professionally, but how did that catapult? What were those elements and steps in that space?
I used to sing in a choir, in theater and in opera, and I used to sing classical music, operas and things like that. But then I discovered that I would really love to write my own music, something different. And I would love to go more into pop music, into something modern. I discovered electronic music, and I discovered that you can actually make a sound out of everything, and everything has a sound. So then I just tried to meet some people and connect with them and find my own sound. I just followed my intuition and my path. It was a long way, actually. And I still think this is the beginning of my journey, of my musical journey. But it's beautiful.
What is the difference between singing classical and opera to singing pop?
It's not that different, I think, because it's all based on emotions. And actually, singing in operas is very, in opera, classical singing is very like, especially operas. I think it's very dramatic, very emotional because you express everything. It's like a storm inside you, I think.
Yes,
It feels like that, kind of. Pop music is like on the outside, it may be not that dramatic, but I think it's also very emotional. Like for me, it's not that different.
Okay.
It's more like maybe it's not that it's not that harsh, it's not that intense in operas, I think.
And is there a different way, a different technique that you have to do when you sing opera compared to pop, or is it the same sort of bass point?
No, the technique is completely different. You sing completely differently. But it's good because I think in pop music you can use like completely different techniques when you sing. And in pop music you can sing with your own techniques, like how you just feel the sounds, how you feel the word, how you feel like the words you just wrote, for example. Pop music for me is very free because I can just sing like how I feel I should sing. So I can just, I don't know, lay on the floor and just whisper things.
Yes.
And like in classical music, it's not like that possible.
Why? Is it more structured? Is it very such sort of structured?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you started singing pop music, was it challenging to pick up that technique, or did the foundation of the classical help you?
Yeah, definitely it did, because I had some background and I could also use some of the things I learned and I got used to. And I think this dramatic approach stayed with me since then a little bit. Yeah.
How do you create a song?
That's kind of secret I cannot tell you.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to tell because it's always different.
Okay.
I never know, like, okay, today I'm gonna go to the studio and today I'm gonna write a song. It never happens like that because the ideas sometimes come to me when, I don't know, I'm on the street, I'm on the plane, I'm just like, like, I don't know, 2 minutes before I sleep, I have an idea for a song, and then I need to like wake up and not continue my sleep because I need to record something or write down some idea, something like that. So it's hard to tell, and it's really hard to it's very unpredictable. It's very hard to predict those moments because I think the inspirations can come out of nowhere, to be honest. But it's important for me to be aware and to be connected to myself and to the world, because in those moments I get the best ideas when I'm connected to myself, to my inner side, to my intuition, and also to the world, to the people even that surround me. In those moments, I think I can really create some magical things, magical melodies and words.
So you mentioned earlier that you got synesthesia. So can you explain that, your experience of having it? What does that mean for you?
It's like my senses are very connected to each other.
Okay.
And they exist all together, and it's very fluid. So for example, like everything has a sound for me. With the sound, there's the strongest, and colors. So everything has a color and a shape. It's very interesting because I can also, like, first I see the song, I see the color of the song, and then I hear the sound. I also see the shape, something like that. So that's why I love art, and I love painting also, because it's very connected for me. When I paint, it's also very easy for me then to go to a song after that.
Obviously, as a child, you were experiencing this. Did you ever think everyone else was experiencing the same as you? And when did you realize that I'm experiencing things differently to others?
That's the thing I also always felt, but I felt it was weird and strange, and I didn't embrace it that much, to be honest, because I felt it was super strange. So it was something that I had hidden in myself. Yeah, because it made me feel like just like a weirdo a little bit, because I felt things also very, very deeply. I still am very sensitive.
Like an empath also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I'm also an empath, so I know that feeling. Oh, are you? Yes. So, Luna, you mentioned that you're on tour opening for the Sugar Babes. You recently finished off opening for Loreen. What do you enjoy about performing live?
I just love it. To be honest, this is the best part of my job, I think, connecting with other people, sharing the energy. And what I love the most is just receiving and giving energy, and just like this connection that takes place with people with different places. The way you connect during a show is something like you cannot repeat anywhere else. It's just beautiful how similar actually we all are, and how we can share same stories, same emotions, same feelings together, even if we have completely different histories, different moments, and we experience different things during the show. Like listening to the same song, we can actually feel the same energy, and it's wonderful. And the energy I get from the people is just beautiful. It's my life force, definitely.
Okay, so I'm that dude that's normally out right up in front. I'm taking a couple of photos, I'm taking a couple of videos, and I put my phone away. I notice these days a lot of people are tweeting, they're videoing, they're doing a lot with their phone. Do you not feel that takes away that energy connection you referenced, or it's just where society is at this time?
I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it's making memories also. I think you can go back to the video, to the photo that you want to take. And I would not like to like tell people not to do it. Of course, I feel like the connection is deeper when you're just like experiencing the show, the sound, the vision, what you see, what you feel. And through the phone is like a little bit distracted, but I don't know. I think we live in those times also for a reason. And also, like, if we record something, we can share it with the world. We can share it with other people, with the people that cannot be during this show, for example. I love, like, yesterday during the show, there was one lady that she went on FaceTime with, I think, her husband, probably, I don't know, her partner, and she just like showed the whole show on FaceTime to him. And it was so beautiful because, you know, like he may have been ill or something and he couldn't make it. And it was like super, super nice, and it made my heart melt, to be honest, because it's sweet. So to be honest, I'm happy when people are filming. Okay. I don't have a problem with it.
What's the difference for you between opening for an artist such as Sugar Babes or Loreen, or compared to headlining or performing your own show?
Performing like my own show or headlining is completely different, because this is like completely my vision, my story. So I create the world, and this is only my world. And opening shows are, I feel like it's not completely my world. It's more like I'm adjusting a little bit to the world of the main artist, of the headliner. And that's also something I really like to do, because I invite people to my world, to my vision, to the moon, actually, to the lunar planet. Yeah, I invite people to the moon, but I also try to like do my best to link to the opener, because people are coming mainly for this artist. And I feel also very honored to play before them. So, for example, like opening for Loreen, my show was a little bit different than my show for the Sugar Babes. It's not like I'm playing the same set, the same energy. It's a little bit diverse. So I'm also showing different parts of myself.
And you were a part or represented Poland in Eurovision. What was that experience like?
It was the biggest experience of my life, to be honest, because it was very, very intense. And in that time, I just experienced everything at once, at the same time. So many emotions, so many feelings. It's really built my strength and power. And I'm really glad that I went to Eurovision, because it also like, I'm really happy because I connected with so many people. I moved to London, and now I'm focusing much more on my international career, which is great. I connected with so many people around the world, and now I'm like playing European UK tour, which would never happen without Eurovision. So I'm very glad. And I met wonderful people there. So I'm really happy. And I feel like it made me so much stronger and powerful, the whole contest.
For the people who just observe it and watch it, you mentioned that it's intense for the performer. In what way is it intense?
It's very intense because I think that during Eurovision, you stop for a moment being an artist, and you start being more like of course, a performer, but more a contestant. So this is the difference. And you create your world, but it's not only your world, because there's so many people involved in it. You're representing your country. So you're not representing yourself, your world. It's completely different than when I, for example, go to the studio, I write a song, or I don't know, I perform during my show, I play concerts. It's something completely different. It stops being your story only a little bit. So this is challenging. I mean, not for everyone, because some people are great at this, but for me, it was a little bit challenging. I didn't feel like myself fully. Okay. And I think no one can feel themselves fully during contests like that.
Okay, I understand.
So I think that's the challenge.
And now, are you you're based out of London now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what's coming up? You've got the tour with the Sugar Babes. What's coming up for the next period of time?
I just released my album actually like a month ago.
Okay.
2 months ago. 2 months ago. Yeah, the time goes fast. But 2 months ago. So I'm still in my no rest era. I'm planning new shows. I'm gonna play some festivals. And after the tour, I'm going back to the studio, and I'm starting working on my new music, actually for the next album. But it's not gonna happen that fast. I'm just gonna go a little bit more into creative process. But I think this year I'm focusing on playing shows, so you can expect a lot of concerts, a lot of gigs from me, and some collaborations as well.
Oh, that sounds fun. So now, Luna, I love that you created an album, a body of work. These days, a lot of artists are just doing singles or EPs. So why did you feel, okay, you wanted to dive into the album world? Was it because you wanted to expand and show everyone the world that you speak of?
So I love listening to albums, and I love creating albums, because it allows us artists to tell like a whole story and show like a whole chapter of our lives, for example. And it's nice to have the ability to show more and show the whole story. So I'm glad, because in this album I could close a little bit and summarize my last year, what I experienced, how I lived my life, what I felt. Yeah, and I was just glad that I could turn it into a whole album, not just an EP or one single, because sometimes it's not enough. So I also really like creating concept albums that have like the beginning, the end, and take you for a journey. So you can start listening to it with something and then end with a completely different emotions, like you're changed for listening to album. I love that way of creating music.
So I love me a CD. I love the journey of the receiving, the unpacking, that whole experience that you mentioned. I'm not sure if you're aware that CDs, vinyls, cassettes on a massive comeback last year, 5.9 million sales of the vinyl in the UK. In the UK, also last year, there's a basket of products that they gauge exchanges on. There needs to be a certain amount of exchanges in order for a product to be in that basket. And because of the upsurge of CDs again, that is now back in the basket. The research is showing that it's the younger kids, the teenagers that are diving into this world, not necessarily the older nostalgic people. But then we also have streaming platforms that people consume music on. What are your observations of the landscape?
I just actually released a vinyl for my album, No Rest, like literally a few days ago.
Okay.
And we took it on our tour. And I was super, super excited because I love also collecting vinyls by myself. It feels very, very special, and it feels like very emotional, and it feels like you're really like putting effort and you're connecting to the artist. So I think like people love vinyl records because I did it for the like fans request actually.
Oh.
The fans like they kept asking me like, we want a vinyl record, so we did it, and I got one, and I'm super happy because it also looks nice.
Yeah.
To have a vinyl record.
It's like art, like you mentioned earlier about the arts.
Yeah, it's like art. Yeah, exactly. And it feels very special.
So
Also, like when you listen, I think when you listen to an album on a streaming platforms, like you can listen to it every day, all the time. And when you're listening on a vinyl, you need like to take some time. So it's different. It becomes more of a ritual.
exactly. So, Luna, I love this game. I know if I had to ask this question in 5 hours, 10 years, I know your answer will be different every time. I'm not saying favorite, I'm saying top of mind. If you had to push play to 5 artists once you finish this conversation, who would those artists be?
Kate Bush, definitely.
Yeah.
Bjork, Fleetwood Mac, and Nina Simone, and David Bowie.
What a diverse mix. Lovely. So, Luna, the podcast is listened to throughout the world. As a final message, what would you like to say to the audience?
Final message. I would love to send some magic and actually tell just to try to see magic and magical moments in every corner.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Celeb Savant. Please follow Barrett on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Celeb Savant. That's CelebSavant.